Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show, and we got to talk about the dumbest thing that you could buy, and that would be a brand new car. But it's not for the reasons that you think. It's not because of depreciation. It's not because car payments are at a record high. It's not because repossessions are increasing. It is because your new car is collecting data on you. Insurance companies might soon be able to take that data and then adjust your insurance rates based on how you drive. And that's what brings me to this video here. It's titled, "Here's Why You Should Never Buy a New Car," and it's not about the price. So I gotta comment on this as soon as you hit the like button and subscribe. And as a thank you for doing that, here's a picture of an axolotl. So thanks so much, and also a big thank you to Function Health for sponsoring this video, but more on that later.
Like, what's bad about cars made in the last 25 years? And please be very specific.
Oh, I will. The first problem with new cars is you lose money hand over fist to depreciation.
Yes.
And then if you have to take out a loan for it, you're also paying interest on that.
Yes.
And one of the fastest ways I see normal people in general lose money is on new cars.
Yeah.
And they do it because they're afraid they can't work on it or service it.
That's exactly
That's
right.
basically the only real good reason.
Exactly right.
I gotta say, there is nothing that depreciates faster than cars and furniture and clothes. As soon as you buy any one of those three things, my gosh, it loses value the moment you put it in service, the moment you click buy, the second you check out. That thing is worth at least 20% less, especially with cars. I think a lot of people got disillusioned that in 2020, they could buy a car and drive it, and all of a sudden it's worth 20% more because supply chains are fucked up. But that's not reality. That was like a weird bubble that we all lived in, where nothing made sense, left was right, up was down. A lot of people got confused that they thought they wouldn't lose money on cars. But everything just reverts to the mean eventually, and now we're back at a point again where cars are just losing value hand over fist. And if you just want to protect yourself with this, always just buy a 3 to 5 year old car. It's that simple. It's not difficult. You save like half. So there you go. Just saved you like $30,000 like that.
Cars, I would say in the last 20 to 25 years, the evolution is not for the sake of the car and the person and so much of the experience. It's more for the sake of the nature of dealing with regulation and keeping a profit margin and building it. And when you do that, you make things that are inherently more prone to failing in the future and less serviceable.
So apparently, a lot of this has to do with EPA regulation to try to hit certain miles per gallon limits. And so what they're doing is they're taking these engines and trying to tone them down a little bit to get better gas mileage. But in doing so, they make them a lot less reliable. The service costs start to increase. And that's why you're seeing like these huge recalls going on all the time. It's because they tinker with the engine. It wasn't broken to begin with. Sure, I mean, you got 10 miles a gallon, but beyond that, the engine was reliable. You could drive at 200,000 miles, no problem. Now you're getting engine recalls like day one on brand new cars. It shouldn't be that way. If anything, cars should just be getting more reliable over time, not less. I feel like in a way we're just moving backwards here. We should be making progress, but we're not.
I guess this trend toward making everything electric. I bought a truck last year, a Chevy truck, which I've always had, and I was at a gas station, and all of a sudden on the dashboard it says, "Stop, we're downloading information from the internet." Or
While
something.
you were driving?
No, I was stopped.
It just specifically wanted you to stay stopped so it can...
So it could, I don't know, download software. I sold the car immediately. I brought it back and sold it.
They wanted all your data to provide it to insurance companies to wreck your life, I'm
Is
sure.
that true?
There's got to be more to the story than that, because usually when you do these updates, you have to be parked, the car has to be plugged in, and you have to be connected to Wi-Fi for it to actually have a signal strong enough to download. My guess, it was probably just downloading traffic information. Like, it's not going to be as though you're in the middle of driving and the car's like, "No, you got to pull over right now, we got to do an update immediately." It's never gonna happen. So my guess, again, is probably downloading just like normal information, and this is just, it's a non-issue.
Insurance companies will be the downfall of cars and driving. I guarantee it. And the other thing is all the cameras that are out there, everybody's putting cameras on their car. I'm like, okay, you guys...
Cameras on their car?
Well, I'm sure you've seen it. Like, people are buying little cameras to see what happens. If somebody does something stupid on the road, you can use that to protect yourself legally, right? That's why they sell it.
It's never occurred to me, but yes.
Those dash cams, by the way, are worth their weight in gold. I will link to one of them down below in the description that I've used in the past that I really like. I'd highly recommend, if your car does not have a dash cam, go and get a dash cam. My gosh, if you get hit and it's someone else's fault, you're gonna wish that you had camera evidence showing that you're not at fault, so you could give it to the insurance company and say, "Hey, that wasn't me, that was the other guy," and we should go after them instead. Dash cams are worth their weight in gold. I mean, just one accident, one thing, it pays for itself 100 times over. But my guess is that over time, car cameras are going to become mandatory. They're going to be standard equipment in all the cars out there. And insurance companies, most likely, my theory, is that they're going to request access to your car's camera footage in the event you submit a claim. So if you say, hey, my car was hit when it was parked on the side and I need $15,000, you're going to say, okay, that's fine. Show us the footage. And you're going to say, well, about that. And they're going to say, well, then we can't cover it unless you show us the footage. And I think over time, they're going to be having access to your driving style, whether you're speeding, whether you're running lights. They're going to have all the data from the car that's going to get uploaded to the insurance company. And then they're going to price you based on how you're driving. So if you're speeding often, if you're driving recklessly, you're going to have to pay a lot more or just be uninsurable compared to the person who's driving like a grandma all the time and driving perfect. I just think it's a matter of time until cars become like the iPhone. Everything updates to your insurance company immediately in real time, and then your pricing fluctuates like a stock would. Again, this is just a theory, but I think we're going in that direction. So just be prepared. Drive safe.
What happens when you're completely mandated control? Car shuts off at exactly 55-mile-an-hour speed limit, no matter what.
You know what's funny? People are so worried about their cars tracking them or them being tracked, but almost no one is tracking what's going on in their own body. Like, seriously, people freak out over their iPhone locations, but somehow tracking their blood work is a complete mystery. Trust me, it could literally change your entire life if you know what's going on. And I'm a perfect example of this. For the longest time, I thought, oh, I feel normal. Everything is totally good. But then I used your sponsor, Function Health, to do my blood work. And oh my gosh, my results showed elevated cholesterol and markers that suggested I should follow up on my thyroid. That's why it's so important to track these things and get them measured. And Function Health gives you access to over 100 different biomarkers covering everything from cardiovascular health, metabolic health, hormones, inflammation, and more. On top of that, follow-up testing is also included so that you can track trends and see how your decisions are actually impacting your body over time. In fact, when I did my second follow-up, I was able to reduce my cholesterol in just a few months. And honestly, it was completely eye-opening because Function Health was able to remove the guesswork entirely. Plus, lab visits are insanely quick at over 2,000 locations across the United States, and membership is just $365 a year, which is about $1 a day. There's also no upsells, no supplement pushing, or no pharma incentives. It's just data and insights that you could actually use. And at least to me, it was so helpful that even my wife uses Function Health. I've recommended them to their friends and family, and everyone's been super happy with them. So if you want to understand what's actually going on inside your body, instead of just assuming that everything is fine, scan the QR code on the screen or click the link down below in the description to get started today. On top of that, the first 1,000 people get a $25 credit towards their membership. So again, you don't want to miss out on that. Enjoy. Thank you so much. Now let's get back to the video.
And the law enforcement can turn off your car from afar, correct? Yeah, and they do.
Well, with certain cars.
Yeah,
Not
certain
mine.
cars. So when's the last year you could have a car that can't be controlled?
Oh, that's a good question because I don't mess around with those cars very often, or ever.
But is it fair to say
ones that are connected to the internet or a satellite in some way?
I honestly don't think a lot of this matters. I'm not worried about like the GPS sending my car's coordinates and someone like intercepting like, oh, Graham is driving down this freeway right now and he's going 82 miles an hour. I don't care. I think a lot of this is just unjustified. At some point in the future, yes, insurance companies will want data from your driving, but any car right now, I don't think any of this is justified. It is what it is.
A couple small points that are also happening were the right to repair your own private property is under attack. But that's something that's happening everywhere. Because if manufacturers or dealerships want more money, well, they want you to service with them. If they make it so you can only service with them no matter what, well, then they're going to, in an authoritarian way, force you to let them make the money, which is frankly another method of control.
This is very true. A lot of car companies say that if you want to keep the warranty, you have to go through them. And as soon as a third-party mechanic touches your car, they void the warranty. Ferrari is notorious for this. Like as soon as you tune the exhaust, boom, lose the warranty. Same thing with Bugatti. If you don't go through them, boom, you lose the warranty. A lot of car companies are going in this way, most likely so that they can ensure the work is done correctly, but it also probably makes them a decent amount of money too, to be able to keep people in the ecosystem Otherwise, they void the warranty. And just having that threat of like, oh, well, you're not going to get the warranty, I think a lot of people are going to be forced into it.
You just keep taking away all the power for the people before eventually you get to a point where will you even be able to own your own car anymore? And will you driving it be a liability to where if we have self-driving cars, it just takes you there at the most efficient time that whatever the it wants you to.
I just got to say, speaking of tracking things, by the way, if you're into investing, if you're into tracking stocks, seeing what's going on in the markets in one place that just aggregates all the information together, check out the link down below in the description and sign up for public.com. It helps the channel tremendously. They are a fantastic free resource. It takes you just like a few minutes to sign up. You may as well do that. It helps out. They got all the information in one place, and you can track everything yourself from there. So there you go. Enjoy. The link is down below in the description.
And, when I see things like that, and I mentioned about it'll be insurance companies that ruin it for everybody. Because the other thing is, what happens when they start making it where you can't drive your older cars anymore?
I don't know if it's ever going to come to that. You can't say that someone needs to drive a car above a certain year, otherwise it's like illegal on the roads. They could probably try to do something like that and say it's like, well, it's more of a safety thing. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think that's tinfoil, conspiracy theory on the head sort of deal. Again, I just don't think it's actually going to happen.
It's the newer stuff that's crazy. For instance, my father-in-law recently got my mother-in-law this nice newer SUV. I think it's a BMW. I think it's a hybrid SUV. She likes it. And my father-in-law look at it and go by and we're like, there's a lot of servos and things whirring and buzzing. And I don't want to say it, but I guess I'm saying it now. It's kind of like, when is this thing going to break? And how much is that going to cost?
Yeah.
And no, you're not going to reasonably fix that. And then when that thing is older, that all these highly specialized little mechanisms and circuit boards and servos or whatever go bad, who's making that? And is it worth making it anymore?
I wonder if it's just me or if older cars are seemingly more reliable, it seems. Could also just be a proof of concept that if the car's been on the road already for 20 years, it's like, it's good, it passed the check, but it just seems as though they're easier to work on, they're cheaper to fix, there's less that could go wrong, and now when you have like hybrid components, everything is electric, everything is a motor now, like you can't even go and open your own car door. Now it's got like the things that pop out for you, and if like one of those motors fixes like $800. They try to make these cars really futuristic, but in doing so, as nice as that could be, it just adds complications when inevitably something is going to go wrong. Like I can't imagine these things still working like 30 years from now. You're going to have to replace the whole car at that point. So I just don't think they're designed to last as long, even though initially they look great.
Or is it just another giant, complicated, toxic, wasteful thing that we go on in this vicious consumer cycle?
No, they just crush it.
So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Personally, I think the best thing that you could do overall, get a good, reliable car that's got, enough miles on it where they've worked out all the issues, and then just drive it until it doesn't run anymore. I think all this talk about like cars monitoring you and things like that, yes, I think at some point in the future, we're going to get to that point. Insurance companies are going to know everything that you're doing. They're going to be able to verify that you are the one driving your car. They're going to know if you're acting a little weird. They're going to know if you've had a few drinks before you get behind the wheel. They're going to see if you speed. They're going to see how late you drive. They're going to notice driving patterns, and they're going to adjust your insurance rates accordingly. They're also going to know if something is not your fault. If you get hit and they see that on the camera, that's not going to count against you. So I think at some point, yes, we are heading towards a world where everything is just self-driving from now on, but I still think we're probably a good 10 to 15 years away from that. So until then, just do what you can to save money, drive safely, and no matter what, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done that already. And don't forget, check out Function Health down below in the description. Seriously, I'd be talking about them even if they weren't sponsoring this video, and I have so many times because legitimately they are that good, and I've recommended them to friends, family, we've all done it, and it's truly life-changing. I mean that, I'm not exaggerating, and I can't hype them up enough. So please do check them out down below in the description. Enjoy, thank you so much, and until next time.